Okay, so we've sent an email out to our entire list. Now, what we want to do sometimes is just send an email out to a certain segment. If you remember when we were setting up our forms, we talked about like people who have, let's say you run a catalog company, so you've got all sorts of different categories that people might be interested in. And if you're sending out a email on the latest summer trends for women's clothes or whatever, then you really only want to be sending that to women on your list and not the men. People will have an expressed interest that they've decided they want to be on through your forms, or you decide to put people into groups automatically depending on what they actually sign up for. So if we're looking at offers, let's go back to the example that we run a car valeting company, and to get people on your list, you're sending out an offer on exterior car shining. People have opted in for that exterior car shining ebook download, then they won't, they'll have signed up on a landing page, which will automatically put them in the exterior ebook group. So again, you only want to send the relevant emails out to people in that group if you're discussing about exterior car shining or whatever. If you've got people on a course, you only want to send emails out to people on the course. If you want to try and get people onto the course, you only want to send emails to people who have not done the course or are not on the course, not completed the course or not on the course. So you're only sort of sending relevant information out to the relevant people. So we know how to create a campaign. This one's just going to be a regular email again. We'll call this one a segmented email. Oops. In fact, before I do that, let me just check my audience. And let's make sure I've got somebody who meets certain criteria. Okay, so I've quickly created this course group, and I've quickly created this course completed tag. So as we can see out of our list, we've got Mary Jones, who's in the group as a current student, and we've got my email address training as tagged as a course completed. So if we were to promote the course, we want to promote it to the people that haven't got this tag and are not in this group. So basically, it's everybody here down. Okay, so two ways we can do that. We can create a segment, and we want it to match all conditions, not all, because that will. If we just go back, we know we've got 9 contacts, and we don't want to market to 2 of them, so that leaves 7. Okay, so new segment. You'll see the difference here. If I do any, and we do groups, course is one of current student. So it's none of current student, because we don't want it to go to them. And we go to tags. Contact is not tagged. Course completed. And then let's preview the segment, and it actually gives us 9 contacts matching conditions. Training at lexiart.co.uk matches the condition because they are not in the group, and Mary Jones matches the conditions because they are not tagged. We've said or either of the conditions, so it matches one condition, which puts them in that segment. The rest all match because they're in neither. If we simply change that to all, then they have to match both conditions, and then preview segment. And as you can see, we're down to 7 contacts. So that's hopefully highlights the difference between any and all. They have to match both conditions. So I'm just going to, from here, I can actually send a campaign straight away and go to email campaign, and that'll take us to the email builder like we saw in the last module. Or you could save that campaign to use it in the future. In fact, we'll save it. We'll call it non-course. We'll just call it non-course. Save. So like I say, we can send the campaign directly from here. And then we get to here, it's already put the to section in. Now it does only say one recipient, and the reason behind that is because 8 of those contacts were just, sorry, out of those 7 people, 6 of those contacts were just random sort of rubbish emails that we put in. So when we actually sent a campaign last time, Mailchimp couldn't deliver to them, so it's actually cleaned them off our list. Well, they're still on the list, but they're under the segment of clean, which we'll discuss in the future anyway. So that actually only leaves one person that we can send this to. But yeah, that's great. It's actually filters out the 2 people that we don't want to send it to. And if we click on the recipients here, it'll show us who it's going to go to. So as you can see, it's not going to go to, it's not going to go to Mary, and it's not going to go to training. And then we go through, create the campaign as we did in the last one. So I'm just going to finish that and not bother with it. Obviously, if you go to create a campaign straight away, you go to email, regular email. We'll call this segmented email. Click on begin. And this time we need to add our recipients. So we simply go into add recipients. We choose the audience. And then on this side, we can choose a segment. Now, we did just save that segment, didn't we? We called it non-course. So we can click on that and save. And as you can see, we're back to one recipient. Training and Mary are not in there. Okay, so the other way we can do that is obviously when we enter this and we've not got anyone here yet, we can go into edit recipients. We choose the audience, like so. Choose our list. It automatically comes up with all subscribers in an audience. If we don't have a saved segment and we don't want to use anything that's already previously set, like tags or any of the pre-built segments in Mailchimp, we can go to group or new segment, and then we get this window up again where we can choose the conditions of the people that we want to pick. So we can go to all, we can go to groups, is course, is none of, is not a current student, and tags, contact is not tagged with course completed. Update recipient count, one contact matches these conditions. We save. Again, we can see the one recipient. It's not Mary and it's not training, which is good. The other thing we can do in here as well is we can actually paste an email of the people that we want to send it to. So if you've got very specific people, maybe you've collected some email addresses at an event and you've promised these 5 people some information, you can simply just copy and paste the emails into the segment. And you can either have them included in the segment or excluded from the segment. So if maybe you'd met people on a course and you'd actually delivered something to them personally while you were there, and it's something you're going to send out to your email list a couple of days later, the exact same thing, the exact same information you've given to them, and maybe you can paste the 5 email addresses here and then exclude it from the segment. So you're not sending it to those 5 people. So that's the other way of, that's another way of segmenting as well, is just by pasting emails that you want or don't want. So yeah, that's how you do it in the segments, and then you basically go through the rest of the email process as we did in the last module, where we add the subject, create the content design, and do all the testing from there. So that is how you choose a segment that you want to send your list to.